Hello everyone, my name is Edward Nkurununji. I'm a peer support worker and also an executive director for Peer Nation. Peer Nation is a service user-led, peer-led organization, an NGO in the suburbs of Kampala, and our niche is to do peer support to persons who are coming out of a recent crisis in hospital, a recent admission in hospital, help them settle back into their communities and develop their recovery and blossom in a way into the community, back into the community. We're a group of people with the lived experience of mental illness, and we use our experience to support others, to help them, to inspire them, and help them attain recovery along that journey. My journey with my first contact with mental health services was 1997, way back when I was still at the National College of Business Studies, pursuing a higher national diploma in marketing. I was a student leader for much of my growing up in secondary school. I was a head prefect, and I was heading the whole school, including the advanced level, A levels, but I was in ordinary level. And so when I went to tertiary institution, I thought I would pursue my student leadership further, and I chose to contest for the guild elections, which were strenuous because they were so commercialized, if I may say, and it was strained on me. I left my room, went to my girlfriend's room to stay there. It strained on her. She asked me to leave. I found myself at my uncle's place, where I barricaded myself in a room, and eventually the house was broken into and they took me to police post, from where I was, my family looked for a clinician from Butati Hospital, came, gave me a job, and I was taken to Butati Hospital, where I found myself in seclusion. I stayed in the facility for some time, but eventually I informally left the facility and went back to college to seek my friends that I was studying with. And they were supportive, took me to the nurse who gave me a job, and they took me back to my family in the suburbs of Kampala in a place called Nashindye. And I stayed there. The clinician at Butati Hospital was also supportive, came, brought me some medication, and I was supported while at home remotely. After some time, the symptoms ceased and I felt better and went back to college to complete my studies. In 1999, I was able to finish my studies, but around that time my mom passed away, and it was a very big void in my life. I thought I should maybe seek some support elsewhere, and eventually I traveled to the UK to join my siblings in the diaspora. And on reaching in the UK, there was a culture clash, and the systems were different from what I was used to in Uganda, and I had to fend for myself, to look for how I could support myself, but I couldn't get formal jobs. There were only manual jobs that were available at the time, and that very strenuous to me. In a period of about 2 weeks, I broke down and put myself in hospital. I was there for some time, was discharged, and went back to community. But before long, I had a major relapse, and I went back to hospital, where I stayed for quite some time getting treatment. Later on, I thought of coming back to Uganda, and I was supported in a way, and I relocated back to Uganda in 2007. And on reaching Uganda, there was an aftershock. So much had happened, things had changed. Most of my friends had got married. I was searching for a new entity altogether, but luckily enough, the friends in East London, where we used to live, formed a partnership with Butati Hospital under an organization called the Butati East London Link. That was around 2005. And the link was established running by the time I came, but the thought of starting a service user entity as part of the link. And so in 27, a gentleman called Sadiq Hall came to Uganda to preach a Heart Sounds venture. The group was called Heart Sounds. And the following year in 2028, the group came to Uganda with 8 service users and some clinicians, and they made a tour in the hospital. They went to Jinja, did a radio talk show, and they eventually met a number of people, among whom was a key service user by the name of Joseph Atkunda, who was so pivotal in putting people together. And eventually, when the group went back, we started an organization called Heart Sounds. And Heart Sounds was started as a CBO, but eventually it became an NGO, and it informed the writing up of projects like the Brain Gain Project, Brain Gain 1, Brain Gain 2, and Brain Gain Impact, which have also informed the writing of other projects like the Upside Project, which is a consortium of about 6 or 7 countries in the high income, middle income, and low income countries. And so eventually, I found myself in Butabika working as a project coordinator for a recovery college, the start of a recovery college in Uganda, which is the first of its kind in Africa. And that has also taken root and done publishing of articles with the BMC and the American Psychological Association, and also informed the start of our organization, Peer Nation, and that has brought us to this level where we are still together as a group and supporting one another. And in all, I found true friends in this group, in this community of people, friends who would appreciate me the way I am, not look at me as some weirdo, and take me for someone who is useful and purposeful without stigmatizing me or isolating me or discriminating me in any way. So I found my new circle of friends in this community of peer support workers. When people listen to my story of mental illness, they think it could be a sad story, but there's a good picture about it, because I've been able to find love, and I've found a person who has believed in me and accepted me as I am, and has been able to bear children for me and start a family. And so I'm happily married with 2 children, and one other is on the way. So it is possible to recover and gain meaning in life with mental illness. It's not a death sentence. It's not the end of life. There is a brighter picture to it. You can get married. You can start a family. You can run you can do a job. You run an organization like I'm doing with Peer Nation, and the sky is the limit. The only magic bullet to it is maintaining your health regimes. Maintaining your health regime, that is meeting your clinicians regularly and sticking to your treatment to enable you function and be useful in the community.